emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics. Hello and welcome to the Final Order Report, where we bring you a hand-picked selection of comics and graphic novels before they head to print and quantities are finalized. I am Dan Merritt, Chief Purchasing Officer at Green Brain Comics, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop and your last chance to subscribe or special order before the Final Order deadline this Monday, November 18th at noon. These titles will be hitting our shelves as soon as December 20th. Green Brain Comics and the Final Order Report are proudly powered by Comichub. Check out Comichub online at comichub.com or download the mobile app for Android and iPhone. Create an account or access your existing account to order and pay securely online, ensuring you never miss an issue. Today I'll be using the Comichub website to showcase items from this week's Last Call for Confirmed Orders Carousel. Once you sign in, you'll see the orange banner. That's everything that's aside for you in the store currently, waiting for you to pay for and pick up or to have us ship. Behind the green banner is everything that we will be talking about today. At the top, once you click through there, we've got carousels for the current search. We've got one for preview pages, one for the last call, which we'll get right back to, but below that is next Wednesday's items. That's everything that we're expecting for the shelf on Wednesday, November 30th, and then we've got event carousels below that. Let's scroll back up to last call for FOC, and that's the one we will be looking at today. You'll notice once we click through, we've got more filters, alphanumeric behind the red buttons, and drop down for publisher, category, brand, etc. You're also scrolling top to bottom once you're in this view. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to be looking at today is a few original graphic novels. Got a little bit of extra time today, so let's cut right into it. There it is. And our first graphic novel today is The Cursed Pirate Girl in softcover. This is called The Melodious Mutiny. More than a decade in the making, the hotly anticipated, beloved swashbuckling saga featuring the unique and unparalleled art of and storytelling of Jeremy Bastian returns in a perennial collection of classic material along with brand new art. The fiery Cursed Pirate Girl's journey continues as she searches for her father, one of the captains of the dreaded Omerta Seas. As you could see, Jeremy Bastian's art is amazing. Super high detailed, very small detailed line work, all in beautiful, old-timey, old-fashioned, illustrative style. Jeremy Bastian also gets this Cursed Pirate Girl in a softcover, pardon me, a hardcover with a slightly modified cover there. This contains the Cursed Pirate Girl 2015 annual and the Cursed Pirate Girl The Devil's Cave one-shot. This is expected in on February 12th with a cover price on the hardcover for $29.99 and $19.99 for the softcover. Also in our graphic novel spotlight, we got one for the YA crowd. This is Harley Quinn's Bud and Lou Trouble Times 2. This is written and cartooned by Ben Head, from the creator of Pixie and Brutus. Available on March 4th with a cover price of $12.99. Harley Quinn's Bud and Lou. Also for younger readers, this is a cool looking book from lauded cartoonist Terry Laban called Mendel, the Messed Up graphic novel from Holiday House. This softcover runs $14.99 for 208 pages, featuring the beautiful art and cartooning of Terry Laban. That wraps up our spotlight on graphic novels. Let's take a quick look at new printings. Our first new printing is a second printing for Power Rangers Prime #1. This first issue just debuted this last Wednesday. Oh. There it is. Nope. There it is. Hooray, I can do it. Power Rangers Prime #1 second print will be available on December 18th with a cover price of $4.99. We also get a second printing for G.I. Joe #1. This also just debuted this last Wednesday. We're still sitting on a decent amount of stock, but if you're interested, there is a second printing featuring Jason Howard art on the A and the B, both on this sold-out series premiere from Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley. And to wrap up our spotlight, ooh, no, this isn't a wrap-up. We got one more after this. From DC Comics, we get a second printing of Absolute Superman #1. Hooray! They use this Rafa Sandoval negative variant for the A cover. We get a B cover by Guillaume Marsh. This looks like brand new art. And a C cover with the Matteo Scalera art on a foil variant for $7.99. December 18th is the ship date for this, with a covered price of $4.99 for Absolute Superman #1. And to wrap up our new printing spotlight, we get a facsimile edition of Fantastic Four #1, taking advantage of all that momentum that their big announcement about the Fantastic Four movie in 2025. It's still got them some buzz, so let's get this Fantastic Four facsimile edition on the shelf. This will be hitting on January 8th from Marvel Comics with a cover price of $4.99. And that does it for our spotlight on second printings. Ooh, but I will say there is going to be a poster of this also on FOC. I think the poster runs $8.99. That comes rolled. Okay, that does it for our spotlight on new printings. Let's do a spotlight on second issues. And we'll kick it off with a second issue from Dark Horse, from the title Arcbound, which debuted this last Tuesday. Co-created and co-written by Tom Hardy and Scott Snyder with Frank Thierry, and art by Ryan Smallman, who also did this A cover. We get a second issue for Black Hammer Spiral City, which also debuted this last Wednesday. Beautiful art from Teddy Christensen. It was my pick of the week. A lot of fun. I totally enjoy the Black Hammer universe from Jeff Lemire. So can you. A great jump on point. This is very crime noir feeling to this post-superhero epic. Heat Seeker Combustion Gun Honey series. A Gun Honey series. Okay. Heat Seeker Combustion, a Gun Honey series, continues with a second issue. First off, a quick apology. We were supposed to receive this #1 with our regular order this last week. We should get it this coming Wednesday, so keep an eye out for #1. We also get a second issue for String, which debuted from Mad Cave and Paul Tobin this last Wednesday. Fade number 2, that did really well for us from Boom Studios, sold out of our first printing of it. We get a second issue on December 11th, as well as Power Rangers Prime number 2. G.I. Joe number 2, that debut series, continues on December 18th. As does Mirka Andolfo's Sweet Paprika Open for Business spin-off by Steve Orlando and Emilio Piliu. Milestone Universe, The Shadow Cabinet number 2, comes out on December 18th. We're expecting that first issue coming out this Wednesday. Also coming out this Wednesday is the first issue for Question, All Along the Watchtower. You can get ahead of the game by ordering your second issue this weekend. Oh, and there's the reminder for Question, All Along the Watchtower number 1 that drops this Wednesday. Okay, that does it for our spotlight on second issues. Now let's hit that all-important first issues on Final Order Report. First up is a brand new series from Mad Cave. Writer Corey Crater with art by Damian Cucchiero. Set in 97 with a crime on the moon running rampant. We get this A cover by Damian Cucchiero and a B cover by Rye Hickman. All four Missing on the Moon, available on December 18th. Parliament of Rooks number 1 recently got rescheduled to December 11th. You can FOC your first issue this weekend from artist-writer Abigail Jill Harding, who also did the B cover. That's a black and white version. It's all on Parliament of Rooks number 1 from Ablaze Comics. I'll have to go back to this for that. Let's do that. There it is. We get a couple of new releases on this week's FOC. Oh, I'm sorry. Just this one new release on this week's FOC from Distillery. This is a brand new series from frequent collaborators Scott Snyder and Jock. This called You Won't Feel a Thing. Years ago. Well, let's see. Let's go over here. Sure. Okay, years ago, Jack Bernard was an accomplished homicide detective. So accomplished that it cost him everything else in his life. Now Jack finds himself alone, trapped in a retirement home with a brain tumor that's slowly sapping his once keen mind of all memories. But when an ice-cold serial killer case from out of his past rears its head, Jack must call on all of his remaining memories in order to stop a killer that only he still believes really exists. You Won't Feel a Thing is a sobering murder mystery exploring the anguish of a man whose own body and mind has turned against him. With covers by Jock on a Tula Lotte cover, very nice. A Jay Lee cover, that's kind of creepy. And a blank sketch cover, all four. Ooh, and we also get this polybagged variant for the very sexy Tula Lotte cover, all for You Won't Feel a Thing from Scott Snyder and Jock. Over at Boom Studios, we get a new series debuting on December 11th from creators Michael W. Conrad and artist John Pearson. 43% of the cells within a healthy human body belong to something other than the human host. Microbiomes, invasive bacteria, fungi, and viral agents. Something else. Something more. When the bloom happened, humanity was changed forever. Ooh, that's creepy. Transformed by symbiotic fungal megasystems that infect their bodies. Some affected people grew new body parts. Some found their personalities changed in radical new ways, while others reported contact with some other intelligence, not their own. Yeah. From Boom Studios, Michael Conrad and artist John Pearson, who did this A cover. In Bloom has a B cover by Allison Sampson, and will be available on December 11th from Boom Studios. We get this this new spin-off for the Spawn-O-Verse over at Image Comics, The Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn. One of the most dangerous and mysterious characters in the Spawn universe is the Gunslinger Spawn. In Deadly Tales, his true origin is finally revealed in full. Written by superstar creator Jimmy Palmiotti with art by the exceptional Patrick Reynolds. See the true origin of the deadly gunslinger Spawn. From the character's first appearance in Spawn 174 to his adventures in the present day, all will be laid bare to the reader. The series, set in the past before the gunslinger is pulled to the future, unravels his place in the Spawn universe. It's a brutal tale of the Old West. Ooh, with a cool cover by Patrick Reynolds, Bjorn Behrens, skeletal, and a D cover from Todd McFarlane himself. Look, he can draw horses. It's Deadly Tales of Gunslinger Spawn #1, available on December 18th. Oh, look, we got this one-shot from Garth Ennis and Mike Perkins, which is a twisted horror tale set in Hollywood after dark. Werewolves, vampires, zombies, aliens, boogeymen, predators, and things. They all have their kinks and they all get in deep shit. They all call Freddy to fix it. The horror-skewed intersection of The Boys and Ray Donovan. The debut offering from Ninth Circle, the creator-owned, creator-driven horror showcase of standalone, bone-chilling tales of terror and mayhem. Note, this one-shot will be perfect bound magazine trim size and feature a cardstock cover, 48 pages for $7.99 from Image Comics. This is Freddy the Fix from Garth Ennis and Mike Perkins. Next up, we have a brand new one-shot from the Horizon Experiment. These are one-shots all about taking a modern... I can't even remember what the pitch is here. Let's see. This is an all-star creative lineup from across entertainment, including comics, literature, film, and television for the Horizon Experiment. This series of 5 one-shot comic books, all featuring original protagonists from marginalized backgrounds, set in popular genres and inspired by pop culture icons, highlights how each character's unique background allows the stories to go into new direction. From creators Jay Holtha and Michael Lee Harris, who did this A cover on Mother Effin' Monsters #1, and a B cover from Tula Lote that will be available on the shelf on December 18th from Image Comics. And that wraps up our small press. Let's take a closer look at DC Comics, who debuts this brand new series in the All-In era. This series spinning out of Absolute Power and the DC All-In special. The Tale of the Dark Side shockwave has cascaded across the DC universe, tearing open the very fabric of time and space itself. Only one band of super scientists have the right stuff to challenge the tale of the fate of the universe. Enter the Challengers of the Unknown, alongside the Justice League, where the Challengers run day-to-day operations for the massive Watchtower base in orbit above Earth. Ace Morgan, June Robbins, Professor Haley, Red Ryan, and Rocky Davis must team with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the rest of the League to seal the rifts that threaten the galaxy. But a mysterious foe from the Challenger's past lurks in the shadows. And its connection to the God Shock will put the DCU on borrowed time from Christopher Cantwell and Sean Isaacs with a Mike Diodato cover. This is the first of 6 issues for the brand new series Challenges of the Unknown. This also has cardstock covers for $1 extra by Torrin Clark, Danny Earls, that's kind of classic, Dan Mora with a design cardstock variant, and a foil cover by Gleb Melnikov. This is Challengers of the Unknown #1, available on December 18th from DC Comics. Next up, we get a one-shot with a time-tested and legacy-based team-up. This is Green Lantern, Green Arrow, World's Finest Special. Everyone's favorite hard-traveling heroes are back, and brought to you through the iconic lens of World's Finest. In the not-too-distant past, Oliver Queen and Hal Jordan find themselves at a crossroads, and only teaming up together once more will save them from the scope of the mysterious bounty hunter known in whispered tones throughout the underworld as Deathstroke the Terminator. Plus, writer Jeremy Adams returns to the world of the Flash to weave a twisted tale of Barry Allen on the road to crisis. It's the world's finest adventure you cannot miss in the special oversized one-shot special from Jeremy Adams, and art by Travis Mercer with this Dan Mora cover. A B cover from Howard Porter, and a C cardstock cover by V. Ken Marion. This is Green Lantern, Green Arrow, World's Finest Special #1. Yeah. Ooh, and here's a big-time debut for the All-In era over at DC Comics from writer Ram V and artist Evan Cagle. Comes the return of the New Gods. An old god has died, and the reverberations of his passing are felt across the universe, setting forth soldiers of an intergalactic army and awakening the latent powers of a mysterious child on Earth. But this has all been foreseen, prophesied by the source, and fed us as enigmatic images to its agents. Metron now... Oh, well. Boy, I really screwed up that sentence. Let me try it again. But this has all been foreseen, prophesied by the source, and fed as enigmatic images to its agent, Metron. Now, as Metron brings word of his cosmos-shattering prediction to the residents of New Genesis and Apocalypse. Both worlds are thrown into chaos and conflict. On Earth, Scott-Free and Barda find themselves unaware of the incoming chaos while consumed with their most daunting task yet. It's parenthood. From Ramvi and Evan Cagle they're bringing the fourth world to the whole new generation in this epic of cosmic proportions. An old god has died, the new gods are born. With this cover by Nimit Malavia and cardstock covers by Evan Cagle. Ooh, that's a beautiful cover. Let's zoom in on that bad boy. Wow. Great detail. Love that work. Another cardstock cover by Pete Woods. A wraparound acetate variant by Evan Cagle. That's a lot of lines. And a Fico Ocio all-in foil variant for New Gods #1 from Ramvi, Evan Cagle, and DC Comics, available on December 18th. Get your orders in by this Monday. Okay, that's all we got for DC Comics. Lots more to explore in the carousels, but to close out the program, we got a few titles here from Marvel Comics. First of which is called Hell Hunters. Nice. Ghost Rider 44. 1944. A U.S. Sergeant Sal Romero is parachuting into Nazi-occupied Europe. Young Nazi officer Felix Bruckner becomes the host for an unspeakable evil. In the aftermath of their violent meeting, Romero is reborn as Ghost Rider 44, who sets out not only to take revenge on Bruckner and the Nazis, but to save mankind from annihilation. Featuring an all-star cast of Marvel's most badass heroes. Don't miss the origin of the Incredible Hulk's Ghost Rider 44. Available on December 25th from writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and interior art by Adam Gorham, with this Jonas Scharf cover on a Adam Gorham Chris Allen cover. That's kind of cool. Oh, it's Miss Minutes. David Baldion window shades variant. That's an interesting use of that gimmick. All for Hell Hunters #1, available on December 25th, which brings up an interesting note. Christmas is on a Wednesday. Stay tuned on how we deal with that. Next up from Marvel Comics is a historic first meeting. This is Kid Pool and Spider-Boy. Your favorite foul-mouthed adolescent is back in comic books form, starring alongside the biggest debut character in recent memory. It's Spider-Boy. Will the adolescent arachnid be able to keep the murderous middle grader from causing the return of the comics code? Unlikely, but Bailey is gonna try. Don't miss the comic that every kid and kid at heart in America is going to sneakily read under their sheets with a flashlight. It's Kid Pool and Spider-Boy one-shot. I think it's a one-shot. I hope it's a one-shot. From Christopher Yost and Nathan Stockman on art. You got this Humberto Ramos on A B cover from Chris Campagna, and a Todd Knock variant for Kid Pool Spider-Boy #1. We'll assume this is a one-shot. Coming in at $6.99. Also, we got this return of Sabretooth from Frank Thierry and Michael Santamaria. This is... Hey, Sabretooth is dead, but his past is alive and lethal. A person alive in the 1900s, seen in a picture on the wall of New York City's oldest tavern, Yes, a feared gangster and murderer who rose to power among the notorious gangs of New York. Yes, and also, perhaps most shockingly of all, none other than Sabretooth. Join us and Wolverine as we uncover this secret, untold chapter from the life of Logan's greatest foe in a tale of violence, betrayal, shocking reveals, and more. And more violence. Sabretooth may be dead, but the secrets from his past and the ways in which they may affect Wolverine in the present are very much alive. We got this A cover from Adam Kubert, a B cover from, who's that? David Paratore, Fabrizio De Tommaso. Sounds like one of those Disney studio artists who does all the cool Disney stuff. And this spectacular Frank Miller variant on Sabretooth #1 from Frank Thierry and Michael Santamaria. Available on December 25th-ish. Star Wars The Battle of Jakku gets a first issue, which is really a 9th issue in a 12-issue miniseries from writer Alex Segura and artist Jethro Morales with an EM Gist cover and this Rod Reese cover, all for this in-between stories miniseries, Star Wars The Battle of Jakku. Okay, just got a couple more things to wrap up Marvel. We got Time Slide. I think this is going to be a one-shot. Yeah, it's going to be a one-shot. Let me get down here where I can see you. What is the fate of the Marvel Universe? An X-Man from the future arrives in the present with a dire warning. One of mankind's most hyper-advanced foes is eating his way through time, trying to stop the X gene from ever evolving in the first place. Only 2 X-Men can stop this chronal predator from achieving his goal, and if they can tolerate working together long enough. Join Bishop and Cable on a trip through futures past, present, and beyond. Your first look at the most unforgettable stories of 2025 begin here in this one-shot entitled Time Slide by Steve Fox, with art by Ivan Fiorelli and this cover by Kyle New. It's a pretty good cover. A very nice cover by Betsy Cola. This is a winter holiday cover. Sure it is. And this David Nakayama spoiler cover. Don't know what's on it yet. It's a spoiler. And this very cool Mike Del Mundo cover, all for Time Slide One Shot. Available on December 25th-ish from Marvel Comics. And finally, our final spotlight on our first issue spotlight. This is MAGIK #1, the brand new series from the ashes. The mystic mutant goes demon hunting in her own very new ongoing series. The X-Man Ilyana Rasputin strikes out on her own with new allies and dark powers arrayed against her. Something ancient has awakened beneath the Alaskan ice. Unfortunately for it, that's Magik's territory now. Oh. Written by rising star Ashley Allen and illustrated by the incomparable German Peralta, this is a stylish, high-octane demon hunting adventure starring the fiercest X-Man of them all. MAGIK #1 features this J. Scott Campbell cover on A. David Nakayama, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Daikruan, very nice negative feel on that. A Ji Young Lee, a logo variant, and this Niti's Marvel Rivals variant for MAGIK #1. Hey, you can also get this amazing J. Scott Campbell cover in a poster for $24.36. I'm sorry. This is 24 by 36. Comes rolled for $8.99. Will be available on January 1st-ish. Just like MAGIK #1. Let me back up, get that info from writer Ashley Allen and artist German Peralta. And that almost does it for our spotlights here. I want to take a quick look at this thing. We've been waiting for months and months. I'm glad to see this finally back on the FOC. This is the 3rd issue of Batman Gargoyle of Gotham. We've been anxiously anticipating this book coming back for the second half of its run by Raphael Grandpa. The most amazing art in this 40-page 3rd issue with a cover price of $6.99. Also featuring this Raphael Grandpa cover on A Jamie Hewlett cover on B. Let's zoom in on that Jamie Hewlett cover on B. Yeah, that's Jamie Hewlett, all right. And this Frank Quietly cover on C. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This Bill Keese Evely variant on D. These are a buck extra for Batman Gargoyle of Gotham #3. Happy to have it back on the ship list. All right, and that wraps up our spotlight on comics and graphic novels. Now let's jump back to show you some information on upcoming events. We've got a bunch of events happening at the store. First of which is coming up this Monday, which is our monthly free review of music, prose, poetry, and visual art. This is Brain Candy 62, featuring the poetry of Saba Karamati, the prose of Jimmy Showers, and the music of Carly Gorney, with the visual art of Keto Green, all put together and produced by the Emerging Writers Network and held free of charge every 3rd Monday of the month. This month, it's Monday, November 18th at 7 p.m. Come on by for Brain Candy number 62. You won't forget it. Also, let's see, the Saturday after Thanksgiving is the return of Shop Small Saturday. Green Brain Comics will be having cool offers all weekend for that big post-Thanksgiving shopping holiday, but Shop Small Saturday will be our special focus. We'll also be welcoming in for a signing G. Walker Tion for a signing Shop Small Saturday. That's November 30th. Much more details coming soon. And then in December, we welcome back East Dearborn Drink and Draw. We're hosting it over at Downey Brewing Company at 13121 Prospect Avenue. For more information about Downey Brewing, check out downeybrewingcompany.com. It all happens on Friday, December 13th. And you can join us back here on Facebook and YouTube for our weekly live preview of New Comic Book Day. It's Brain Scan, live on YouTube and Facebook at 6:30 on Tuesday. And I'd like to thank you for joining me today on the Final Order Report. Deadline for Final Order cutoff is Monday at noon, November 18th. Please confirm items in your cart before the deadline. Thanks for joining me today on the Final Order Report. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. We are Green Brain Comics on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All of the links to our shopping cart website and Comic Hub are below in the description. We are spreading the love of comic books and graphic novels from the heart of East Downtown Dearborn since 1985. Feed your brain. at Green Brain Comics. Thanks for watching, folks. Emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics.